Welcome back, everybody. It's Untapper Go, and today I have a very exciting announcement. One of our viewers is going to be a dad. He's having a child. Congratulations to you, Dubstep, and your significant other for this glorious event, and I hope that you and them are happy, healthy throughout this COVID mess, and I hope the pregnancy goes smooth sailing and everything. When you guys figure out the gender and you decide out the name, let me know down in the comments below. I'm really excited for you guys, so, anyway, I reached out to Dubstep. I asked him what deck he wanted to see on camera, and he said White Weenie. So let's hop into Weenie Hut Jr. And this is an Historic. I chose Historic because the card selection is just better. Honestly, I just have more fun in Historic anymore than Standard. But let's hop right into it. In the 1-drop slots, we have God's Willing to kind of protect our creature against like some targeted removal. You know, it's good for trading and stuff. It gives us a scry when we need it to. It's a Maru Hound of Conda. This is 1 mana 2/2 that is probably one of the best rate creatures in mono weight, but it's legendary, so we can't we can't play too many of them. Legion's Landing, on the other hand, even though it's legendary, it plays very well in multiples because we don't care about sacrificing the enchantment because it just makes the 1/1s. Then it accelerates our mana, and it's a creature factory later on in the game. We have 4 copies of Loyal Pegasus. This can't attack or block on its own, so it's not the best 1-drop like to play on turn 1, but it's a really good evasive threat that's going to get a lot of damage in over the course of the game. Then we have 3 copies of Selfless Savior. This we can sacrifice at instant speed to give target creature indestructible, and that's really good to protect our Benalish Marshal and all that kind of stuff. And then we have 4 copies of Sky Marcher Aspirant to finish off the 1-drops. This is a 1 mana 2/1 that can have flying once we have the City's Blessing. Getting into the 2-drop slot, Drannith Magistrate is just as one of in the main board. I know it seems weird, but it's really good against the adventure cards right now. Yorion, Kroxa, Uro, the list goes on. We also have more in the sideboard, so if you need to bring them in, if you're playing this in best of 3. We have 4 copies of Luminarch Aspirant. This is going to put counters on our creatures at the beginning of combat, and this is really good because it's going to help grow all of our creatures, and it's cool to put it on like Seasoned Hollowblade because it has indestructible or the ability to. Or just to dump it into the Loyal Pegasus or the Sky Marcher Aspirant once it has flying to just get a lot of damage in. Then we have 3 copies of Phalanx Tactics. This is basically, since we're not playing Boros, we can't play Burn Bright or nothing, but this is going to pump our team. This is like one of the best pump spells, I think, you know, to pump the entire team with. Then we have 4 copies of Raise the Alarm, puts 2 creatures into play at instant speed, and this is actually really cool too because with all the lords and everything, it's pretty often that we'll put like 4, 6, 8 power into play when we have these in multiples, so it's really good for instant speed at 2 mana. 2 copies of Seasoned Hollowblade. This does not play very well in multiples, so we're only playing 2, but we can discard a card to give it indestructible until end of turn, and it's just a nice threat that our opponent has a hard time dealing with. Then in the 3-drop slot, we have a split between Glorious Anthem and Benalish Marshal. If you have the Benalish Marshals, like all 4, I would just play them. It's better because it's a creature, you can attack and block with it, but Glorious Anthem fills the role, and it's harder for our opponent to deal with anyway, for the most part. So, I mean, you know, just play around with these numbers however you feel like. Then we have 4 copies of Heraldic Banner. This is only going to pump our team's power, but it also acts as a mana rock, which we need because we're only playing 18 lands, so it kind of fills that role with that additional benefit. And then we have 1 copy of a Catcher's Monument to finish off the 3-drop slot. This is another legendary artifact, but the cost reduction is virtually irrelevant. It only applies to the 2-drop slot, because the Benalish Marshal costs 3, it's not going to get the reduction, and then the 1-drops don't get the reduction. But we're only playing it in here because it makes 1/1s that have Vigilance, and that's really cool when we have all our lords in play, because it puts a lot of power into play. In the mana base, we have 4 Castle Ardenvale as another creature factory, 13 planes, and 1 copy of Shefet Dunes. This is just like obviously worse card of Phalanx Tactics. Like, it does the same exact thing for the most part, it just at a much worse rate, but it's nice to have it as like the 4th copy, virtual 4th copy that also taps for mana when we need it to, and it's like harder for our opponent to like deal with it, I guess. In the sideboard, we have Containment Priest against like Collected Company, Muxus, the list goes on for there. Devout Decree deals with Mono Red, Rakdos, Gruul, things like that. Disenchant against artifacts or enchantments if we need it. Drannith Magistrate to finish off, you know, 2 more Drannith Magistrates if we need them in that matchup. 2 copies of Hushbringer. Be mindful, this makes your opponent's Kroxas and Uros much better, so be mindful bringing this in against those particular matchups. We have 2 copies of Rest in Peace to deal with our opponent's graveyards. 2 copies of Runed Halo to protect us against specific cards. We could play like Leyline of Sanctity or something in this slot if you really wanted to. And we also have 2 copies of Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. We're not playing this in the main board because we are playing a decent amount of non-creature spells. So if you're going up against like Control and you want to bring this in, I'll just go down like 2 copies of Heraldic Banner or something to bring it in, and that's the deck. So I hope you enjoy. I'll leave a link down below to the Ether Hub so you can import it into Arena and try it out yourselves. Leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you didn't. And if you do leave a comment, please, please, please give a shout out to Dubstep for, for this awesome event, and congratulate him and his significant other on them having a baby soon. So, or the news that they're having a baby anyway. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the bell for notifications and all that good stuff. And let's take this into the arena and see how we do with Weenie Hut Jr. in Historic. Alright, going into our first game against a Keruga deck with Camelot as the pilot. Our opening hand is pretty good. I mean, we can keep this. If we can get our third land, these two are going to really pack a punch. Alright, opponent has decided to take a mulligan. We're going to keep. Alright, they've kept a hand of 6. And we will start out with a Sky Marcher Aspirant and pass. Next turn, I'll probably Luminarch Aspirant before I Loyal Pegasus. Depends. Opponent has 2 open mana. I don't know what they're playing just yet, like what their deck actually is. Luminarch Aspirant first. Put the counter on the Sky Marcher. Get in for 3. Opponent, good games. Yo, I'm recording 1 sec, alright? Alright, midnight clock for our opponent. We drew into our third land. This is cool. So we will play the Heraldic Banner first. It's harder for our opponent to deal with. Put the counter there. Put our opponent down to 10. And then I think they're just dead next turn if they don't do anything about this. Sure. Can he do it again? If he does, we're screwed. Banishing Light. It's the Marshal. I'm actually just gonna pass because we can make a token. Okay, opponent buys Keruga. And they put a charge counter on their clock. And make a dude. This only gives us 3 extra power. Let's see. So 3 and then 4 plus our 5. It puts them down to 9. That would not be enough. So for now, we just attack for 5. We'll pass it up because we would have been 1 life short of lethal, and then we would have had to commit all of our resources. Alright, there's the Shatter the Sky. Which leads to us winning if they can't kill our token. Let's go to combat. Put the counter here. Can I not Phalanx Tactics? Oh, okay. That was weird. I really thought that we would have had the game. Good game. Alright, so we are on the play, and our opening hand is pretty good, so we're going to keep this against Hippodrome. Good luck, dude. Gonna bloom the Lotus. Play the Isamaru. It's really good, turn 1. Turn 2, we'll play the Luminarch Aspirant, put the counter on the Isamaru, and get in for 3. And then hopefully if we can draw a land, we can go Heraldic Banner into Sky Marcher Aspirant, and then follow up with Raise the Alarm, and then Phalanx Tactics. Alright, so no land, so we'll play the Sky Marcher Aspirants. Our opponent does not Does not have much of a shot here. I mean, if Phalanx Tactics resolves, we just win, I think. Alright, Pel Collector for our opponent's good. I think we're going to go with our Heraldic Banner. An opponent just gives it up. Good game, opponent. Up against Yosemite Sam, and we are on the play. We are going to keep this. Going to start off with the Sky Marcher. Next turn, we're going to go Pegasus, Legion's Landing. Flip the Pegasus, or flip the Legion's Landing. Ooh, Yosemite's really good too. I think I'm going to play that over the Pegasus. Alright, force for our opponent, so they're playing Golgari. I wonder what kind of interaction they could have. I love the sleeves too. I love the matching sleeves. So good. I love using Lightning Bolt sleeves for anything, especially when it's not mono red. Alright, Fiend Artisan's pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll play the Luminarch Aspirant. Put the counter on our Lifelinker. All attack. And I'll just God's Willing it. Give it protection from black. Yes, please. Thank our opponent for the nice. I don't think it actually went through. There it is. Riding Regisaur for our opponent. Benalish Marshal for us. I'm gonna not attack with that and just get in with everything else. Now that puts our opponent pretty close to dead. Skyclave Shade in the grave, discarded, that's pretty good, so they can get it back with their land drop if they want. Can't block though. Ooh, and they paid the life. They might have a Languish. Oh no, just a female, okay. What'd they shot for? They have to have something, okay. Well, we're just gonna go to combat and try to kill them, so... put the counters here. Get in with everything. Alright, Assassin's Trophy on the Benalish Marshal. That's really good. Sure, we get a land, take action. Comes into play untapped. It's really good for us. So we're going to Phalanx Tactics the Isamaru, because it'll get the most damage in. This is going to die regardless. This will kill the Fiend Artisan. Putting them down to 2. And we'll just pass the turn, because now we can raise the alarm on their end step. Opponent decides to get in for 7. Another Regisaur. Do they play it? They can't play it. So we're just gonna raise the alarm. Good game. Alright, we are on the draw up against Pedro. Shout out to Pedro, by the way. I haven't heard from you in a while, buddy. Hope you're doing well, too. I mean, we can try to keep this. It's kind of slow. No 1-drops. Yeah, I think we have to mulligan this, honestly. And we'll keep this, it's better. Pitch the one loyal, let Pegasus play the Sky Marcher Aspirant on our turn 1, most likely. Hello. This would be crazy if this actually was Paid Hero. Could you imagine? Like, what a world. Well, let's see if they want to trade. Do you feel like trading? Don't think so. Now this is really awkward. With 18 lands in our deck, having 5 already, while only in the first 8 is pretty crazy. Sure. It seems like we already lost this game, I would imagine. Yep. Get your colors. I thought they were going to play like Azusa or something, but this is honestly just as good. Double blue. Okay, I guess I had nothing else to do with it. Legion's Landing is pretty good for us. We will play that. Go ahead and just flip it. No damage. And no blocks. And we'll just pass it up. Missing is kind of the threat. Alright, plus is up. Plus is up on the land. Alright, I was gonna say they decided not to attack for a second, but we will take the damage. There's Uro. Dryneth Magistrate would be really good now. Their Lotus Cover is generating a bunch of mana too, so they might be able to follow up with something else. Another Migration Path. Jeez. I'm just gonna run out of land soon. Not really. Not anytime soon. I'm just completely joking, but alright, our turn. We can't do anything. Activation. Sky Marcher Aspirant's not bad. 4, 8, so 9, 10. This will have flying. So, honestly, I think we beat down on the Nissa. Alright, opponent hits us with a good game, so I wonder... Okay. That's a bummer. Also very rude to assume that it's game already. It might not be. Like, you attacked with your Lotus Cobra, so you're gonna kill that. Okay. I'll still pass. Yep. Oh man, what a game. Magic, everybody. Yep. That's a good game. So we're just gonna concede. Alright, going into our 5th and final game, and our opening hand is kind of weird. I mean, the double Banalish Marshal is nice, but we have like no real creatures. The Raise the Alarm is cool, but I guess we gotta keep it. We're not doing anything with turn 1. I don't think the passage isn't super scary for us. What color are they grabbing? Plains. So. We drew into our 3rd land, which is really good. Hopefully we don't draw into any more. Season of Growth, so they have an engine. This is gonna be a very hard matchup for us, I would assume. All Seed, sure. Alright, they scryed 1 to the bottom. Arcane Flight for our opponent. So this is like some Bant enchantment deck. That's pretty cool. It having flying kind of sucks. We're probably going to die to that very quickly. So I'll just get in for 4. Their opponent is shocking. Ancestral Mask. Okay. That's scary. And it has lifelink. Oh, Jesus. And Vigilance. Well, I mean, just gonna go ahead and... Welcome back to the wrap-up, everybody. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. We won the first 3 games. We lost the last 2 games, which was unfortunate, but still had a lot of fun. The deck performed pretty cool, and I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. If you did, please leave a like on today's video and a comment down below. If you do, please leave a shout out again to Dubstep, Articuno, and his significant other for having a child on the way. So, big shout out to you, buddy. I hope you enjoyed the video as well, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a subscriber and a viewer. Thank you for suggesting this deck. This was a lot of fun to play. And hit the Ether Hub down below if you would like to import this in Arena and try it out yourselves. Hit the subscribe if you're a viewer and not already yet subscribed, and hit the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date with all the new content. And with that, this is it for today. Thank you for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next video.